Well, hi everybody, it's good to be back once again sharing on this live stream. It's good to be sharing about a subject that is deep to our core, literally, tonight. And it's at the heart of who we are as humans and as multicellular organisms that have been around for a long, long time, in fact, billions of years. And that's this essence of our natural defense system. Because in chronic pain, this natural defense system is simply out of whack, and it's out of whack in several ways. So first of all, let's just talk about the hypersensitized alarm. That's what's going on in our brains 24/7 as long as we've got this chronic pain experience. Imagine you've got your toaster on in your kitchen, and the alarm keeps going off every time you press the button down to toast the bread. Well, that's what's going on in the brain, and it's really important to realize that it's a faulty signal, it's a faulty alarm, it's hypersensitive, and we need to be aware of that, because if we are not, then we are pulled into the cycle of anxiety, stress, fear of harming ourselves, and my encouragement to my patients this week has been to really slow down and be careful of this fearful mindset set by an alarm. And one really good way to deal with this is to, number one, realize it's going on. Now, you may know about this, but maybe you haven't really focused on it for a little while. And if you just draw back your thoughts to the current one that's going on, to be present in the moment, nothing more powerful in the universe than a human being being present in the moment. But if you can rein in those thoughts and say to yourself, hey, I got this, I'm protected, I'm not damaging myself by doing some exercise, I'm not harming myself by doing that activity. Maybe we need to pace and take our time and maybe do less than we would like, but nevertheless, it's really important not to lie down to this false signal that's being fired off all the time. And by reining in these thoughts and giving ourselves reassurance and that we're okay, we can do this, then you can navigate your day much better with the onslaught of negative thoughts that will be around in your brain that often never stop. So that's one of the things that came up this week, looking at our natural defenses. Another one I just learned recently is about macrophages. Now I'm going to be a little scientific geek here and share about macrophages. They are part of the white blood cells and the immune system response to the body. And when I was at med school over 20 years ago, we were taught about these Pac-Man-like cells that went around the body and mopped up all the foreign invaders like viruses and bacteria and parasites. But the new science on this subject related to chronic pain and other states in the body is we've got two different types, M1 and M2. And M1 is like that inflammatory response, that attacker, that like Pac-Man that goes along and eats up the invading organisms. But there's a type 2 as well, which is an anti-inflammatory type, and we need that as well because we need to have the balance between attacking and then healing. So the second type is healing response. And I know the work of Dr. Sernham in Harvard has done some pioneering research on this subject around inflammation and chronic pain, and we now have biological pathways to explain chronic pain in the body. So a little bit of geeky there, but it ties back to well, what is inflammation? And if we've got too much inflammation, that's not such a good thing. And the activities of eating foods that are low in inflammatory proteins. We've got cooler showers. The Wim Hof method is one example, or just simple cold showers or cold dipping. It's a great way forward with that. And then also with nasal breathing and the Buteyko breathing method, which I've shared in other videos, are all great ways to switch off this inflammatory response and get those macrophages flipped onto M2s rather than M1s. So 2 natural defenses that I've recently been focusing on and thinking about, reflecting on, and then, just making sure that my patients are focused on the right areas so they can micromanage their issues with pain and move forward with optimism and results and relief that they too can get better. So I'm just going to leave you with a few thoughts on, well, what is a great natural defense system for ourselves? Well, when we look at the emotional life, and we all know that we are going up and down with lots of emotional responses to life events that seem to keep coming at us like at a speed of light sometimes. But gratitude is one of the best ones to do, and something I've been focusing on a little bit more in the last couple of weeks as well. Gratitude for everything in your life. You may be down, you may be struggling, but when we have gratitude from our heart, then that balances up all your negative emotions. It's an amazing thing, and I encourage you to be grateful. Say 10 grateful things or 20 or 30 grateful things if you're feeling really low, and just feel that response in your body. That will be the chemical changes going on. Maybe take that stress, that alarm system stress that's going on in the brain. So gratitude is a gem to practice and to reap the benefits. And the other thing is self-love. We must love ourselves if we're going to get better. So there's no point in pushing ourselves, trying to do more than we can actually do. There's no point in being that pretty perfect person that always pleases people. No prizes for being a people pleaser or a perfectionist. And these are 2 traits of chronic pain that if we could just take the edge off of that and maybe say no, maybe slow down and make a decision rather than just saying yes to everything. These are 2 ways to help with the stress in our life and to show more respect for ourselves and use self-love as a tool as we move forward. Okay, well, there's a couple of gems from me tonight. These are my favorite things to share with patients, all about the brain and all about how we can take charge of chronic pain and move forward in this experience that we have. So thanks so much for joining me. It's great to see you once again, and I look forward to future shares. Thanks so much. Thanks for joining the course. I look forward to seeing you